Hey, I'm back, and guess what? I just dropped a container full of super glue. Hang on. Anyway, I'm back, and quite frankly, I did create a recording last week that I wanted to upload, but everything was moving way too quickly last week with regards to artificial intelligence or AI. So, I had to revise it again. Now, I'm not a tech YouTuber, but I would like to cover tech sometime in the future. But it is affecting gaming, so I gotta talk about it. And the thing that is affecting gaming right now is for sure it's AI. AI has been buying up excessive amount of hardware from RAM to GPUs to CPUs probably and other stuff, including SSDs and possibly even the hard drives at this point because everything is going up. But I do believe that we may be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly talk about every single one of them and what's my opinion about it. So let's get to it. First things first, OpenAI may go bankrupt soon. I don't think there is a word in the dictionary that can basically define my immense joy and worry that this is happening. On the one hand, yes, we may get everything back to the consumer side once again and ease up on the enterprise shit, i.e., AI accelerators and all that bullshit. On the other hand, if you ever seen the bubble, like the diagram bubble, this is gonna be a cascading effect that I do think that there's gonna be hardships along the way because these CEOs aren't gonna take the hit. I mean, CEOs never fail down, they always fail up for whatever damn reason. I mean, just take a look at Zynga. And yes, I do not remember his name, and I will also not tell his name because he is a curse. Or if you want a really recent example, look at Doug Bowser. Where do you think he ended up? Also, this is going to be really fun, and I'll talk about it in the next video with regards to Nintendo. Again, do stick around for that. So, by and large, upper management, they get the golden parachute as usual, but the worst part here is there's gonna be layoffs and there's gonna be bailouts. Where do you think all of that money is gonna come from? Because it's sure as shit that it's not gonna come from Jensen Huang or from Slopia Nadella and any other CEO that keeps on pushing this shit. It's not gonna be on their coffers. I mean, they can't afford that. You know, they're gonna go back down to 1 billion instead of 10 billion or whatever the number is right about now. If they have to do that, they can't afford their 20th luxury yacht. So I see this like a good or bad thing. I think it's just gonna, it depends on how fast it actually does pop. I mean, it's already starting because OpenAI has now put ChatGPT with ads, and I'm pretty sure this is just like step one. And with Sora AI being just almost a forgotten relic at this point, I mean, it had like its massive fame, and then 30 days later, it's just 1% usage at this point. So, yikes! It's not looking too good for OpenAI. And the best bit here is OpenAI have a partnership with Microslop, so it is really gonna be rough for both of them. Why do you think Slopia is trying to push us the narrative, or in this case, gaslighting us into using AI like Copilot and all other shit? Hell, even the CEO of Microslop mentioned it. Think about it. The person who's constantly pushing Copilot and Slop AI stuff towards us is already realizing that it's not even needed. Like almost, I would say 90% of the world don't give a shit about AI. And in the corporate side of things, almost more than 60, I think, saw no changes or probably even lost money when they adopted AI into their business, and barely any found revenues for it. So that's the enterprise side also admitting that it's useless. And ironically, Dell, of all companies, was the first one to publicly admit, like the CEO publicly admitted that AI, or mentioning AI into their products, may actually do more harm than good on their bottom line. He kind of corporate speak this by mentioning that people are more confused if it's stated that it has AI into it. But quite frankly, I don't think that is the real reason. People are just way too tired of hearing all these AI this, AI that, have an AI toothbrush or AI powered thermal paste from Cooler Master. If you know, you know. I think at one point I saw something like an AI powered pencil or something like that. Quite frankly, a lot of companies have slapped like the AI label into everything that I kind of like already forgot which ones existed. If you guys remember any of them, do put them down in the comment section down below, because I would like for a good laugh right about now. But I do distinctively remember the AI powered toothbrush and AI powered thermal paste, because those are absolutely stupid. So that's pretty much it for like the whole OpenAI situation. I mean, it's pretty much just basic math, really. You're $14 billion in debt and you barely generate income, so you're still in debt. Oh, and if they do end up getting bankrupt, I do not believe that whatever hardware they still have in stock that they haven't used is gonna trickle down to the consumer, because I have a feeling that is tailor-made for data centers. So there's gonna be a whole lot of landfills to fill up. But on the plus side, if you ever watch those videos on how to extract copper, silver, gold, or any other precious materials on your electronics, you might be able to just go to those landfills, pick them up, and make a profit for yourself. Or at the very least, remove every single one of the VRAMs, GPUs, and whatnot, and then have someone create a new GPU out of it. I mean, there are people who have done like DIY by adding new or added more RAM into old graphic cards. I think the latest one was the 9080. So there's that option. Moving on to the second part. So Microslop's CEO, Sloppy Nadella, God, I feel like I'm gonna bite my tongue one of these days, mentioned in an economic forum that if there's not a whole lot of people using their AI, or not, maybe not their AI, but AI in general, they're not gonna get the social permission anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure I never gave my permission for any of this AI shit, and I'm pretty sure you guys didn't. Luckily, where I live, I don't think there is a data center nearby, so my electricity bill and water bill didn't skyrocket, but in other places, they have. And I'm pretty sure the neighboring people over there didn't give their permissions for those AI data centers. So what the fuck do you mean that you're gonna lose your social permission? We never gave you that permission. You just forced this shit to us, and you tried to constantly gaslight us and shove AI down our throats, even though we are literally not consenting to this and saying no. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure where you found the idea that we gave you permission, but we didn't. And you're probably still in Zaza land because you are still high on that AI craze. Although I'm pretty sure Zaza land is Canada and I live here, so And the third one would be Nvidia, Micron, probably even AMD, Razer, and whatever other companies that I under the sun that adopted all this AI shit. Go and pound some sand. Well, adopting AI for the benefit of actually helping people and not replacing people, you guys are pretty much good. But companies like Nvidia or Micron that is just gaslighting consumers by stating things like these, things like Micron saying like, oh, them leaving on the consumer market is good for the consumer. Huh? Or as Jensen Huang mentioned, that to ignore people with PhDs in economics or whatever that mentioned that this is a bubble and it's about to burst. Like, to ignore all of those people giving out warnings because they're just fear-mongering and there's no substantial evidence on this. Huh? Did they really think that we have smoother brains than a goddamn koala? Hell, even if those smart people, the ones with PhDs, never mention anything about this, we literally have centuries worth of bubbles that have burst, that have the same exact MO as the AI bubble is. So we don't even need the PhDs or the experts into this. We already recorded a lot of them. So all of those statements never made any sense. And lastly, some tips that I will be providing where you can help do your part in destroying this AI bubble, because I know I am already trying to do that. First things first, try Linux. I know there's definitely problems with Linux, but if you're just doing it for playing games and you play games that doesn't require at kernel level anti-cheats, you should try Linux. Yeah, sometimes it is complicated, but you need to start somewhere. That's what I think. And just as a proof, I've actually did install Linux on my laptop because it couldn't upgrade to Windows 11. And not only that, I am trying to use this as my introduction into Linux, like trying to figure everything out with Linux. If everything goes well, I may actually also include that into my main PC. The only reason I'm not fully switching to Linux is because my parents also use the laptop and sometimes my computer. So that is not an option to just go fully Linux. Oh, and before you ask, I'm using Endeavor OS because it was either that or Steam OS, which I couldn't do because there wasn't an NVMe in my laptop. And then I think it was Catchy OS on the other one. So I just decided to go to Endeavor instead. Right now, my only problem with regards to Linux is that I need to have secure boot enabled, but it's blocking my ability to go to Linux, so that's an issue. Once I can figure that out, definitely be gaming a lot in my laptop for like simple games just to try out Linux more. And that's also another tip that I could provide. That is, play games that doesn't require a massive amount of hardware. I mean, think about it. Do you really want to play games like these that are unoptimized and require so much hardware? And some of these games may not even be fun anymore. I remember there was like a survey or a review or like data with regards to how people are more satisfied with games that are like $20, $30, even like $50 at most, that aren't being made by major publishers. And quite frankly, I think I agree with that, because take a look at what games won last year. Expedition 33, Silk Song, Schedule 1. There's like so many games that aren't made by AAA studios that are much better than what the AAA studios can spit out. And some of them don't even need like RTX 4090 or 5090 and 128 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't need that. It just needs like a decent PC. And quite frankly, I'll probably be showing more games, reviewing more games that doesn't require like a massive hardware, and I mean doesn't. And so long as it can run on my hardware, which is like an RX 6750 XT, then that will be great, because you can just downscale it because it's gonna be in 1440p. So if you can get the hardware for 1080p, which a lot of people still play on 1080p, these games are something that you may actually enjoy playing. It might become retro games or modern games, who knows. What I can be sure of is that these games will run just fine on like $1,000 setup. And quite frankly, you don't need to upgrade to like the latest and greatest unless you need it for something else. If you're just playing games like CSGO, or no, actually CS2 now, Minecraft, Roblox, and all that stuff, you don't need like a dual 5090 and 128 gigs of VRAM or like RAM. You don't need it. Save that money for something else. In fact, I'm thinking if there hasn't been a major leap in technology like power, the 9070 XT is gonna be my final upgrade, at least GPU side. For CPU, I can always upgrade it to the 5950X. As for RAM, I'm already getting to the point where I can't upgrade it anymore, not because of the price, but because I don't have the slot anymore. And also storage, I can just add in more storage. I mean, take a look at this. This is my GPU, my exact GPU. Why is it like far more expensive than the brand new one? In fact, it is like more than double the price when I first bought this. This is insane. If I would suggest how you would buy or build your PC, buy the ones that is currently in this generation. Don't think of future proofing it because it is nonsense. Buy it, play games on it, and if it can't run on it like buttery smooth, like 60 FPS at least, just optimize your game settings. Don't buy a new hardware. That's what I did with Helldivers, even though I am like maxing out my GPU, but I was able to play it on a really good setting. And if you're like me, who actually do need something in the newer hardware, for me at least, it's AV1 encoding, because unfortunately my GPU doesn't have that, then go ahead and buy a new one, like upgrade to a new one. But if you're just purely gaming or just purely browsing the internet, don't even bother. It is absolutely not a good time right now, and I don't think it's gonna be good for quite a while. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think I missed something, but I can't remember it. If you think I missed something or you would like for me to talk about, so long as it's not politics and really degenerate stuff, then leave them all in the comment section down below and I'll read them and probably create a follow-up video if there's way too many. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, do consider dropping down a like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and quite possibly subscribe to the channel because I have way too many recordings that I need to get out. That means a lot of videos. And speaking of videos, maybe you might like my other videos as well, you know, while you wait. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.